The first one, because it was a plugin for WordPress, was actually a bit sucking a bit of bandwidth, too much bandwidth, because it was doing a cache of every single link that it was finding. The second one is actually intrinsic to WordPress, so it doesn't have that issue. The first one was actually literally slowing down the page open rate, so it's slowing down the performance of the website. The second one doesn't, but it's actually not as good at finding the post, so we're having to do a bit more of a kind of a manual job as well. It's the internet, it's not perfect, and never will be.
That's a great line. So I just had a question for you, Marta. So you talk a lot about the success of your blog is really due to understanding your readers and analyzing the traffic that the return readers, and they even give you feedback about now they're coming back a few times a day. How did you use that to? You're definitely a case study of success at Open Sky and really working with it. And how did you introduce it to your readers?
Introduce
like
what?
how have you integrated Open Sky into?
Oh, the
your
Open
blog?
Sky into the read.
Yeah.
Well, I think initially when I started Truth in Aging, and I had really no idea what I was trying to do with it, I started reviewing beauty products, and because I didn't think there were very many good reviews out there. So I thought I was providing a little bit of a user service. But initially, I didn't even put the price on products, let alone tell people where they could buy them. And people started asking for it. They started to say, well, where can I buy this? So we began to put more information in. And then I became an Amazon affiliate, and realized that I could actually shift quite a lot of product. I was sending people to Amazon and they were buying stuff, but they were going away from the website and they were just going to Amazon, and that's a convenient experience but not a very good one and not very integrated with what I was doing. So then, when I said we were getting Open Sky, I did a lot of teasing up of it in the first place, saying, we're going to have our own shop finally, and we're going to hand select everything. And you're not going to have to search through lots of rubbish that you don't like, because it's just going to be stuff that we really believe in. And we're going to try and get you the best possible deals. And right off the bat, a lot of those very loyal, regular readers were writing in saying, wow, this is great, we can't wait. And then we used the newsletter, and that's been really important. And this has been a kind of a real sort of virtuous circle, actually. I think actually it was Alan at Open Sky that first suggested it to me, and he said, why don't you offer 10% off everything in your shop to people who subscribe to your newsletter, and why don't you put this big side up on the website with your picture, and I'm English and I don't really like the kind of self-promotion thing. I find it a bit embarrassing. But I reluctantly agreed, and we put this picture up of me, and we linked it to a page where you could subscribe to the newsletter and get this promotional code so that you could go to the shop. And at the time, we'll say when did we do this? October we launched the shop, didn't we? So around October, I had 600 subscribers to the newsletter. I now have 2,000. And they're just signing up at a much, much faster rate than we were doing before. We've made it visually attractive, and we've given them a reason with the incentive in the shop. And then when we do the newsletter, which we're now doing twice a week, we offer an exclusive promotion to something that we're selling in the shop. And or it's either exclusive, or because you've got the newsletter, you get there. We tell you about it first. So we're making them feel very privileged about that. And we did that after we found out, when we looked at the stats on the newsletter, and the platform I have shows me exactly what stories they jump off of and where they go, what the click-through rate is. And we found that they were going straight to the shop, and they were buying at a much higher conversion rate than people on the website. And it's not surprising, because they are, to get back through it again, they're probably that 20% of really passionate people. They wouldn't have signed up otherwise. They wouldn't want their newsletter, their email box invaded by this newsletter if they weren't passionate. So they've become real drivers of the whole Open Sky experience. And they give us a lot of feedback about what's working for them and what isn't working for them. And I think the final thing about Open Sky that's worked extremely well for us is that we have been able to negotiate some really good deals, like really deep discounts where we're not taking the hit on the margin, but the manufacturer is really working with us to do that. And it is a lot of work, and we say to our readers, we've negotiated this for you. We've spent a couple of weeks talking to the nice people at X company, and they're going to do this. And the readers really feel, as they should, because we are, they really feel that we've put a lot of time and effort into getting good things for them at the best possible price that they probably can't get right now anywhere else. And that's, to quote the dreadful Kaplan, is spreading goodness, and it works.
Marta, how much time do you spend blogging on other beauty sites? And do you find that it pays off? Do they link back to Truth in Aging? Because that's very time consuming for me.
Yeah, it's something that hasn't worked that well. If you do it for small websites that aren't much bigger than you, then it's really not worth giving them exclusive content. You can just say, look, take some content that I've already done on my website. You can have it free and gratis, providing you link back to me. And you may get a few people like that. The only things that have really worked for us, and it's because it's our audience, there's a site called Wow Oh Wow, which is backed by Lily Tomlin and Whoopi Goldberg and a bunch of people. But it's kind of the women who are in the chattering classes, age 50, and they've got about 3 million uniques, and we've been syndicating stuff to them, but actually they do most of the work.
Did they come to you, or did you approach them?
No, we went to them.
Okay.
We went to the editor and said, would you like some content? And they said yes. And they say, we really want something on, anti-aging body lotions. And we go, well, here's 3 articles. You can cut and paste, do what you want,
and you're
you
just
do the
giving
work.
them the content.
Where they can do what they like.
Back.
Yeah.
Right. Because
and they've become of non-Google, of the independent referrers, they're the 2nd or 3rd biggest referrer after 3 months.
Right, because I think
So that's
a lot of
worthwhile.
people say, "Oh, I want to be paid for stuff like that,"
No,
but it's
no.
really the exposure that you're
Yeah,
getting.
no, trying to get money for it is actually a waste of time.
Right, I agree. I just wanted
Because you
to
can
bring out
monetize
that
them so
point.
much more
Right.
yourself
Right.
than you ever will from syndication.
Right.